Okay, today we're going to talk about making a harvest wreath made out of mesh ribbon. I have an example here of what I've done, and I have the supplies. But first of all, I just want to talk about uses for this wreath. You can do this indoors or outdoor. You could have this, at your front door. I've left mine out in the snow in Minnesota here, so that's worked out. They dry out just fine. But you can also, in your living room, dining room, family room, wherever you've got a picture up, take that picture off and just use that for the holiday time. Another thing you can do with this is if you've got a large table, you could put this in the middle of your table and then do a collection of candle holders to give it some nice height, and it would just be lovely. And one other thing you can do is you can make matching garlands. So let me just talk about the supplies. And first of all, I want you to know I'm not a big crafter, so this is in my terms how I deal with making one of these wreaths. The first supply you're going to need, and remember all of this you can get at any type of craft store near your home. First we're going to start with a 16-inch wire wreath. The next thing we're going to do is, now we use 3 colors of the mesh ribbon. And what you want to do is, if you're beginning, you want to get tones that are similar to each other. When you get more advanced, or if you're really good with color, you can do very dramatic colors as far as this. But I went real simple just to make this real easy for everyone. So you're going to need 3 different kinds, and you're going to need 15 pieces at 10 inches. So we'll talk about that a little bit more in a bit. Now, I like to have a lot of ribbon, so I use 3 colors. You can use 1 color or 2 colors, but I just think that really jazzes it up a lot. So 3 colors, and they have to have wire ribbon. Otherwise, you're going to have a really hard time working with this. And you're going to need pipe cleaners, and a total of 31. And again, all of this you can get at your neighborhood craft store. So we've got the wreath, we've got 3 kinds of mesh, we've got 3 kinds of ribbon, and we have our pipe cleaners. You're also going to need your nice scissor that cuts really well, and something to measure with. The first thing I want to talk about is that I have found with working with these wire wreaths that things slide around. So by taking a pipe cleaner and just popping it through and coming around, it helps hold when you're attaching pieces onto your wreath. So what I have done is I start at each band, and I do 1, so it's over 2 and 2. So 2 and 2. So you're making 2 separate wreath lines, and it'll just help keep the rest of the ribbon on here when you start attaching. So it just makes it really easy. Then you can slide them around. So they don't have to be perfect because no one's going to see that part. Okay, so what I want to show you is this is a complete little piece that we're going to be attaching on, and we're going to make 15 of these. So what this is, it's 3 pieces of the mesh that I'm going to show you how to cut and take care of, and then we're going to take our 3 different pieces of ribbon, attach them on with a pipe cleaner. Very simple, very easy to do, and then this is what we attach on. So you're going to be making 15 10-inch strips of all 3, 1, 2, 3 of each of the mesh pieces that we're using. So after we cut the mesh, the next thing is we're going to cut our pieces of ribbon. Now these I'm going to do 1 inch longer, so these are going to be 11 inches. So take and cut 15 11-inch pieces of each color of ribbon that you're going to use. Then the next thing to do a point on the end is you are going to bend it in half. Then you're going to take the 2 outside folds and bring them together. And it's all you're going to do is an angled cut. That's it. So when you open it up, you're going to have a tail, and then when you open this up, you're going to have a tail on both ends. Okay, this is the hard part. We're going to assemble one of our first little packets, I'm going to call them. So what you're going to do is, it takes a little practice. These have to be rolled up a little tighter. So all I'm going to do is start rolling, and as you do this, you're going to have little pieces coming off, but later on you're just going to clip all those up. So I'm going to roll this, not too tight, pinch it in my right hand. I'm going to take the second piece, roll it up, pinch it, so I've made a little bit of an X. Third piece. And if you need to, you could put this under a book or something if you can't hold it in your hand. So here's our third piece. Now we don't want them too tight, so we want some room here that we can pull apart and work with them. So now I'm taking piece number 3. So I've got them all together, crossing over each other with my finger pressing in the middle. Then I'm going to take a piece of ribbon, second piece of ribbon. Again, these all have wire in them. And then the third piece. So I'm just crisscrossing back and forth and still squeezing in the middle. So actually this is it. Now I'm going to take my pipe cleaner and I'm going to go across the front, still squeezing. And if you have little kids, they can come and help you, Then I'm just going to tip it over and make a tight twist. So I'm going to hold my pipe cleaner, and this is the finished product. So what I'm going to do is pull all my little ribbons to the top, and then actually if you think they're too tight, just put your fingers in to widen them up, or you can do that once you've gotten them all onto the wreath. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my pipe cleaner, and we're going to do 10 around the outside and 5 in the middle. So I'm going to take this, pop it right through, turn it over, and twist it on. It's as simple as that. Okay, so here's the one little packet of ribbon that we made that I showed how you attach it on. So here's our finished piece. So again, we've got 10 attached on the outside, 2 pieces of wire, and 5 on the middle. So what I do then is I go through, pull up all the ribbon, just give them a little twist. If the ends don't look great, get out your scissors and snip them and make them look nice and fresh. Now another thing is some of these ribbon pieces unravel. So go through and clip them all up, and that's your finished wreath. And I hope you enjoy it. You can do this for any season at your house. It's just a fun, simple thing to do. And again, this is something your kids can help you out with. So enjoy!